mind's a war zone, every line is on the brink. I sift through broken logic, terrified to blink. Each error's like a dagger, stabbing through the screen. The meltdown's creeping closer, am I trapped in this routine? I pace the room, internal voices in debate, questioning my every move, I can't afford mistakes. The code's a labyrinth, I'm stumbling through the haze, searching for a reason, praying for some saving grace. The tension in my chest keeps tightening like a vice. I cannot run the panic, can't ignore the sacrifice. I'm pinned against the deadline, it's whispering my name. A shadow looming over me, amplifying all the shame. I need release from this chaos in my mind. A shout erupts from deep within, no mercy left to find. My senses overload, the frustration never quits. I'm teetering on the edge, surrender or resist. Line by line, I chase a phantom bug I can't contain. Cursed loops and dreaded logs are fueling all my pain. Twitching my fingers, no solution in sight. I'm running on adrenaline, locked in an endless fight. Reboot after reboot, errors flooding red. I can't silence the cynic living rent-free in my head. Desperation in the keys, I'm beating on the desk, determined to emerge victorious from this test. I can't believe I'm here again, on the brink of another breakdown. I wonder if it's all worth it, if I'll ever wear the crown. Still, something in me refuses to give in. There must be a resolution somewhere in this code I'm in. I need release from this chaos in my mind. A shout erupts from deep within, no mercy left to find. My senses overload, the frustration never quits. I'm teetering on the edge, surrender or resist. I won't let the meltdown own me, even though it's fierce. I'll tear through every obstacle, cut through every fear. Cause once the fix appears, I'll feel the chains unwind. I'll emerge from the darkness, clarity redefined. I need release from this chaos in my mind. A scream that breaks the tension, no regrets left behind. I'll fight through every line, till the path is in my sight. And when I conquer this beast, at last I'll breathe tonight.
Morning. You did beat Trench. How's your morning going?
No more illusions, no more spiraling inside. The fix is found and I'm finally alive.
Alright, well, before we get started with anything, I just got a show. Who's this? What's this guy doing on a Saturday?
From the first line of code to the heights we've reached, every challenge faced, every lesson preached. Climbing up the ladder, yet the sky's the limit. Endless path before us, every step is vivid.
Just woke up and thought you missed it? Oh, you woke up just in time. He forgets he has friends. That's fair. We're gonna start a whole new arc just to keep things clean for this stuff. Hey Chips. Sure you didn't mean to write just a comma, but so I was doing a lot of thinking over the last day on what I want to do for the Stamp Jam. You went from 113 to 117. Nice. I know. Am I blind here? Or did... Oh, I'm looking at my stamps, aren't I? It's still morning. I'm gonna grab a few examples of things here. I don't remember if you said you published your cat or not. Hey, Trench. Okay, there's a cat in there. Okay. I don't think I'm going to actually use these, but I am going to use them for reference. We'll see. But I think we're going to get a little crazy. So it wouldn't be a stamp jam if we didn't. That one better. I guess we'll keep both out here. What we're gonna try to do which may or may not work out. Maybe I use round ones. It's not a round one. It's not a round one. Why are these not alphabetical? How does it go from square to round and then back to square and then back to round? Anyways, we are going to try to do some skeletons, and not skeletons like what you created for your skeleton horse, but like rigging a skeleton, animating the skeleton, and then trying to attach a model to the skeleton and try to do all the animations on the skeleton through like bone structures instead of trying to animate individual pieces of an animal. I have no idea if this is going to work. I have no idea how to do any of this. I've never done 3D animation in the real world. So I make no promises. This could end up being a very terrible idea. But somebody's got to try it, right? So I'm thinking of using these pieces here. If I need to scale some of this down. I'm not even 2 seconds in and it can't save my art. What's up with that? What's that? I don't know if I want this to be in the middle or on the edge. I don't know if it's gonna matter. We're just gonna do it like that. So my hope is that spheres are used as joints, so it depends on how the movement will be moved. So what I'm hoping I can do is I guess this will just be a simple test. Right, so that would be like a joint. Well, like pretend it's a knee or something, I don't know. So we'll call this a leg. So I would want to be able to right, so that'd be like your knee. I do this, I rotate it, which axis is that? The x-axis. And then if I just put a spawn point here, so I can spawn. I mean, that's kind of working, right? It's not rotating a whole lot. I didn't make it rotate a whole lot, but so then what I'm curious of I think this is going to be the hardest part, just getting everything lined up well. So what I would like to be able to do That's what I'm hoping to solve with the skeleton, right? So instead of having to deal with each individual part of a body, is if I can figure out the motions for each joint in the skeleton. I don't know. We're going to play around with it and see. We want all of our anchor points to be on the joints themselves. Yeah, I did make that part of the group by mistake, so let's remove this. Okay, what does this look like now? So that would be like the hip joint and the knee joint of a leg, right? Because the knee joint is attached to the leg. When the hip joint moves the whole leg, and then the leg moves independently, they don't fall apart. See, I'm debating whether to go that route too, Trench, of using attach nodes for some of this. We'll get there. Are you the only one that doesn't care about attached nodes? I mean, I think they definitely have their place, right? Attached nodes are just easy ways to make two things stick together, right? I mean, that kind of looks like legs running, right? So I think if we did something like this, we'd be able to get something like what we want. So now what I'm curious of... Alright, Nutri, no worries. So I think what I would like to try to do then need to try to remember duplicate these as I'm doing this. So I don't lose what pieces I'm using. So I've kind of went and Googled kind of what a 3D animation skeleton of Bunny would look like. I'm gonna try to just build that, and it's gonna be super big. My camera to be way slower for this. Then once we get like a basic skeleton structure here, we'll start figuring out how to group things together to get the movements we want. And then I'll try to shrink it all down. I think this actually needs to be more like this.
Still ignite our souls. The battered laptops, the laughter, the stories we told. Every snippet of code still glimmers in our mind. A testament to how we never left that spark behind. Now we're older, but these moments still ignite our souls. The battered laptops, told. Every snippet of code still glimmers in our mind. A testament to how we never left that spark behind.
We did something here, like so.
We're gonna code our dreams unbreakable at heart. Remember silly
Duplicate this.
like our art. Though the screen
These guys and up here.
lines moving fast, we'll hold these memories tight. These coding dreams will last. Our high school hallways fade, but our future's burning bright. We'll code the next horizon like we did late every night.
All of these lined up eventually.
Air's buzzing with the countdown, can't escape the ticking clock. Sprites dancing across the monitor, we're on this final walk. Pixel dreams are shaping worlds inside our midnight heads. The rush is on, we're living off ambition, hope, and dreads. We're punching chords and writing codes on borrowed time. We're building rounds before the deadline starts to climb. Our restless minds race to create the perfect scene. This crunch time dream is all we need to feel alive and free.
I think I probably
Caffeine-fueled
shrink this guy
delivery of
down a
midnight
little bit.
Staring at those glowing squares, the night's our battleground. Characters come to life while we jam to every beat. We'll finish this epic journey and we won't admit defeat. Lights flicker overhead and the code compiles. We're halfway to greatness, determined all the while.
Is that one slightly higher than this one?
In the hush before the storm,
Okay,
our hearts catch
that's
every
why.
beat. We're punching chords and writing codes on borrowed time.
I don't know if there needs to actually be a joint right there,
The deadline starts to climb.
but maybe.
Our restless minds race to create the perfect scene. This crunch time dream is all we need to feel alive and free. We're counting all the frames, we're tweaking every line. No turning back now, success is on the vine. The final push is pulsing through this pop-punk vibe. We'll conquer any glitch, yeah, we're unstoppable tonight. We're punching chords and writing codes on borrowed time. We're building rounds before the deadline starts to climb. Our restless minds race to craft worlds we've never
This
seen.
actually,
This crunch time dream is everything. It's what we really need.
should be more like this, I think.
Pixel after pixel, we watch our vision take flight. We crash through every barrier, shining bright in the night.
This will probably be good for now.
Lines of code are stacking, deadlines closing in. Heartbeat syncs with the clock, feeling all the spin. Errors flashing warnings, every second counts.
I'm just gonna rough things in here real quick. Definitely think I made my legs way too big. Now that I'm thinking about this.
Fearing what's to come, hope and fear collide, racing like a drum. Can we push it through, or will it all collapse? Holding breath, eyes wide, avoiding any traps. We're racing again.
But let's
Midnight merge tonight. Every line must align. Keep the
swap some of this stuff out. Let's shrink this up a little bit.
rise, don't let it tear us apart. Together we stand strong, with one unified heart. Conflict resolutions, battles in the code, merging all the fragments.
We'll use this size for the legs here.
Every push brings us closer to the break of light. Breathing in the chaos, find the peace inside. Trust in what we've built, let the tension subside. In the face of disaster, let's find our way. Calm the storm within, bring a brighter day. We're racing against time.
Good. For that guy. That guy. Okay, this guy. Just bring it over here. We take these and just do so. Grab these joints and bring them back over here. Might need to shrink these joints down a little bit. They might be a little too big. All of this down to connect. And probably... Now those ones are maybe fine. I think it's okay if it's a rather large model for right now. So hopefully yeah, I mean, I'll be able to shrink it down really small. Alright, so those are kind of our back legs, our little hoppers for the bunny. Gonna need I think pretty similar up here in the front. Except we don't want, the legs definitely need to be shorter and not as bendy. So let's get rid of these guys. See if we can see if we can keep this joint a similar spot.
Nah, I've got dungeons to conquer. Mop the floor, why bother?
Not with
Digital
him
rocker.
like this, but if we do
Can sit and wait while I chase my source code highs. This self-deprecating
something like this.
feeling
I know it's a little bit bigger of a bone, but that's okay.
I'm chasing pixel glory. Forget that laundry pile.
Then here,
And coding is never time to file. So call me lazy, say I'm stuck in a fantasy phase. I'm building worlds with these lines. Never wasted days. Never wasted days. Never wasted days.
just kind of get this lined up here.
Keys, raise
If I'm not mistaken, don't forget if it's on the world setting, then players would have to know it will run or move towards the world axis. So I'm gonna try to keep everything, I think, on a local axis when I start doing the movements, because I want it to not matter what direction it's facing.
Inherited chaos, tangled in my mind. Old projects left behind, shadows I can't find. Every line a memory, every bug a scar. Struggling with the past, wondering who we are.
But we'll see when we get there if that's the way that it works or not.
Whispers of mistakes, echo in the night.
Let's see, what am I missing here?
Rewrite the story, let the old ways go.
I don't know if you guys can hear my dog barking in the background.
Move into
She's sleeping. She's barking in her sleep.
legacy code, legacy self, haunted by the echoes of forgotten shelves, fighting through the shadows, seeking clarity, breaking chains of day, finding me.
Alright, these guys
Lines of spaghetti, tangled with my
don't need to be
every fix a battle, every step about inherited baggage
as angled,
on my soul.
because again, the front legs
Darkness, reaching for the goal.
for the rabbit
Of the night I face my fears.
don't move a whole lot.
Burden, shedding all the tears. Legacy doesn't define me. I rise above, embracing new beginnings, guided by self-love. In the silence of the night, I face my fears. Letting go of burden, shedding all the tears. Legacy doesn't define me. I rise above, embracing new beginnings, guided by self-love. Shattering the echoes, tearing down the walls. Rising from the ashes, answering the calls. We break the legacy, redefine our path. Moving past the shadows, escaping aftermath. Legacy code, legacy self. No longer bound by records of the past stealth.
That didn't
Fighting through the darkness, finding my
work right.
embracing who I am, stepping into the day. Breaking free, finding peace.
Um,
I saw bugs in my code. It's still not gonna compile when I run it on Monday. It breaks. I'll be bugging all week. I'll be bugging all week. Not a way to relax. Not a way to detox. Without clarity. But I broke it on Monday. Really broke it. Have you still not built it? I made it again. Was prepared for a fight. Hidden well in my code base. Every comment's a misled. This
and not just
night fades a day.
Yeah, I can't just rotate it like that because that doesn't give me that same structure. Or do I have something else off here? Oh, everything here is lined up. Yeah, but if I snap each one straight up and then rotate, I guess maybe. I think I got it here.
My scribbled notes are scattered. I'm haunted by mistakes.
I don't think I can move that down like that though.
I'm chasing visions through the chaos, but they slip out of view. Every glitch feels personal, like I'm coming unglued. Codes unraveling, I'm caught in the debris. Night after night, it's a war inside of me. But somewhere in this wreckage, the dream still shines. I'll keep forging forward, I won't leave it behind. I'm rising from the broken blueprint, stepping through the pain. Each glitch that felt like failure now guides me to reclaim. In the fire of every meltdown,
I think that'll be okay. I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference.
place I lift my spirit high.
If it's slightly off, the rabbit might just have a little limp.
They taught me in the night.
Hello from the other side.
My devotion. Am I
Hey Maya.
right? Yet something in me won't surrender, though the code might fray. I'm building worlds from fragments I can't turn away.
Keep breathing through the errors. There's promise in this fight.
What do we need here?
Sights can still birth something bright.
So I want these legs
Don't let the doubt drown out your love. It's time to stay afloat.
kind of be here.
Blueprint stepping through the pain. Each glitch that felt like failure now guides me
And then like the head be up here somehow. I don't know. We'll worry about the head later.
when the final piece steps into place. I lift my spirit high.
That's our skeleton for our bunny.
Illusions of defeat, but hope is coded into every line. Our strength will
I
not
think I am gonna put a quote unquote joint here.
beyond the severed ties. Together we'll unravel this night and watch the dawn arise.
Just for visual effect.
Rising from the broken blueprint, stepping through the pain.
the part that I'm curious on here is, and this is probably where the attach nodes will come in handy. I rotate this joint to bring this up. The whole leg needs to come up. I can probably just do that with grouping it, right? If I do this and I add a rotate node, I just make sure that this group's pivot point is this joint. And then within this group, I have another group whose pivot point is this joint. And then within this group, I have another group whose pivot point is this joint. Rotate nodes on all of these. Don't know why that one is, I don't know why either of those are way out there. But then we basically have hip joint, knee joint, ankle joint. Gonna be a mess when you try to, well, that's the thing, I'm not gonna group pieces to the skeleton. I'm gonna use the attach node to attach them to the skeleton, which means they should just move with the bones. Is my hope, at least. Which then means if I have like a basic rabbit skeleton like this, you could create a whole bunch of different styles of skins to put on it, and they're all going to work the same way. At least that's my goal. If it's going to work that way, I have no idea. So we want to do like 25. This one here, we kind of want to probably do more than that, like maybe 60. Let's actually do ease in and out on all of these, just to see. And this one's probably, I'm just making up numbers right that. Ease in and out, ping pong. Let's bring this here. And let's see how horrible this looks. Actually doesn't look too bad, right? I forgot I still have the legs over there. I mean, it doesn't look, obviously it's not perfect. I don't think that was too bad of a first start. Let's actually just duplicate this over here to this leg. Which actually, we're probably going to be doing this a lot. I'm just going to delete this leg. Duplicate this one over to here. So I don't have I feel like I'm missing a rotate node here. Yeah, this guy. Let's try to organize these a little bit cleaner.
Endless lines of code, but something's always wrong. Missing brackets, stray semicolons all night long. Each error feels like a shadow creeping on my
We're gonna do the same thing here. Gotta organize these a little bit better.
Every missed symbol, another doubt inside. Questioning my skills, fighting with my pride. But deep down,
Hey friend,
fire that won't let me give in. I've got to
I see you're watching on YouTube
find where I begin.
and not on Twitch, where you're actually subscribed to me on Twitch because somebody gifted you a sub in Twitch not too long ago. Hi Liz.
Chasing the light. Late nights in coffee cups, battling the strain.
You saw what?
Feeling
Oh, that you got the gifted sub?
like a drop of rain. But each fix brings me closer to the perfect run. Turning
Colette says hi.
into something
Oh, hi Colette.
fun.
Just have the whole family watching me now.
In the silence of the code, I find my strength. Every hurdle faced, I go to any length to conquer these syntax struggles. Break through the night with every line I write. I embrace the fight.
Oh, I'm on the big screen. I made it. On the big screen. Alright, so I don't want to do this ping pong anymore. Gonna keep these on linear now.
Tearing down the doubt, embracing every moment, letting courage flow. We smash these walls of frustration, our
And
pushing through the struggles, turning darkness into light. Syntax struggles tearing me apart, but I hold on to the spark within my heart.
we want to
I keep holding on, chasing the light. I face the syntax struggles, now I see the
hook up a second line of animation, which is going to be
a new day's begun.
the reverse. Alright, so this is doing 25. This one's gonna do linear, no loop, -25. This one's 60. One will be -60. It's 15. This one will be -15. We're gonna get rid of that, and then what we're gonna do is we'll just put on a key for right now. This isn't how it will ultimately work.
Hoping to rewrite the past to make these wrongs feel right. From endless loops of sorrow, I'm yearning to be free. A newfound resolve inside me
So how have you been, Cameron?
sets me free. I run in circles trapped by code that's twisting up my soul. Spending
Let's see what key is this. We're gonna put this on R because it's easy to hit.
on red, but now I'm stepping forward, done repeating what I've said.
Doing pretty good.
Be a burden, yet it's also a sign. It's calling you to wake up, to redraw the line. Let the tears lead to healing, let your heart realign. There's still a chance to mend
So that's really slow.
behind. I'm crying out through all this pain, searching for a light. Hoping to rewrite the past, to make these wrongs feel right. From endless
Let's make this just 0.1. We'll just go as quickly as we can.
freeing, it sets me free. I'm stepping off this hamster wheel, reclaiming every breath. There's strength in your confession, you're not bound by regret. I'll forge a better path, let these loops
Probably needs to come back a little bit quicker.
and we'll rise above the cycle, no longer left alone. I'm crying out through all this pain, searching for a light. Hoping to rewrite the past, to make these wrongs feel right. From endless loops of sorrow,
I don't know why I keep dropping my gun. That's okay.
found resolve inside me. This time I choose me.
Yeah, we don't want this to happen. But when it's not triggered off of a key, that probably won't happen. All right, Cameron. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you have a good day.
Fingers fly like lightning bolts at night. Screens glow bright, casting haunted light. In code we groove, seeking bugs to fight. Eyes red raw, but the vision's tight.
Again, organize a little bit here.
Coffee cups stacking high near the edge. Ideas weave through the mind like a pledge. Silent struggle cracking complex hedge. Perfection's law makes the brain wedge. Every line a step in the grand design.
And I think we're gonna set this up off a trigger node. Trigger node. Trigger these guys. And the delay.
Mind solder to the endless coast flow. Victory in the simplest show.
Get rid of that. And again, we want to
ride the wave, bloodshot eyes, yet we are not enslaved. With grit and wisdom, so much we've braved. Every function saved, we feel more engraved.
you want to delete this, duplicate this over here again. Then this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy.
Cords tangled on the floor. We're forging pixel kingdoms behind a creaky door. We're skipping rules and deadlines.
Then
Free. Every glitch feels like a triumph. Sweet rebel energy. Hey, we're building worlds in this messy hideaway.
do like this to swap this around.
Chaos lights our way. Test player madness proves we're chasing every dream. A basement revolution that defies all reason schemes. Flame rumpers in the corner. Neon cables crossing paths. We're stacking lines of code.
Then we're just going to
Rebellious hearts pounding loud. With each bug that we debug, we'll let that glitchy fix.
bunny hop event.
Spark we love.
Trigger both of these.
We're hacking in the basement, chasing every quake. Frantic test players losing
What I would also like to be able to do
take. Crank the volume up. Let's watch the code explode. This sweet rebellion leaves us nowhere else to go.
I don't think I can do this with the bunny, can I?
Messy hideaway.
Um,
Chords till the chaos lights our way. Test player madness proves we're chasing every dream. A basement revolution that defies all reason schemes. Punk riffs echo through the cracks in the floor. The neighbors might complain, we just rock out more. A glitch
do
here, a bug
this
there, we don't even
with
care. The spirit of rebellion's in the basement air.
a normal rock.
Hey, we're building worlds in this messy hideaway.
We want to do
Till the chaos lights our way. Test player madness proves we're chasing every dream. A basement revolution
something like that.
and schemes. Our messy place is charged with creativity and noise. Bright-eyed and glitch-loving, we're rebellious
But also
boys.
move this. Trigger off of the bunny hop event. Get our attach node here.
Phone buzzes non-stop. I'm tethered to the stream. Real life slips in slow motion. Nothing's what it seems. Friends wait with
And then just on start,
please an audience I barely even know.
do something like that.
Torn between two coals.
Now let's get my input back.
Ones watch me fall.
And we're just going to trigger this event when we press the R key now.
afraid of what I've become.
And what's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. So let's put this further down on the ground. And then let's change this axis. That didn't work as well as I thought it would. I think the biggest problem with doing this way, and I might just end up using like move nodes and whatnot instead. I was hoping to be able to do physics so it would maybe look better. If I put no collision on the rock. I do think that when you apply physics to things, maybe that thing just doesn't have collision with the ground at all. That's part of the problem. So what if instead doing that, we're going to try to cheese the physics system. I don't know if I can have more than one child here, but we're going to find out.
Phone glows in the darkness. I'm haunted by the feed. View accounts define me. I chase that rush I need.
And we'll bring this back up to here. So I feel like it actually hopped somewhat when I did it up here. I'm just making a flying rabbit at this point.
To a cracked reflection, pixels for my eyes. Each light feels like
A rabbit that goes crazy. If you have an event, you can make hop at the end of the push down.
with hopes flicker in my chest, but deeper truths forgotten in the haze of trending plays.
I think we just launched a rabbit into outer space. All right, let's do.
I see the stress behind your eyes, the emptiness that grows, shadows of your worth hide in data's ebb and flow. Let your voice ring true, unchain yourself tonight. There's a life beyond the metrics, breathe in your own light.
Yeah, I just need to figure out how I can make it stop rolling like that afterwards. Do we have...
Hear your heartbeat, let it guide you back.
I do. I can do a physics enabled square. Cube, I guess. Sorry, cube.
Lines of code like tangled thoughts, loops that can't escape. Every error message echoes the mistakes I make. But in the darkness, there's a spark that keeps me holding on. Through the sleepless nights, I'm forging till the dawn. Dead-walking dreams breaking through the night.
It's very inconsistent. How come I can't apply a force to this physics object?
Triumph in the coding, see the fire in my eyes.
Stacks of coffee cups and midnight oil, fueling my resolve. Every challenge that I face, another problem to solve. Demons in the cold, trying to break my will, but I push through every line, climb that coding hill.
In the silence of the night, I hear my heart call.
What else would be...
Every line I debug, I find a peace inside. Through the struggle and the pain, I discover who I am. Rising from the shadows, becoming more than just a man.
I'm wondering... Just testing some things out. See, I can't apply a force to those either. So why can I apply a force to the rock, but nothing else? I guess just to make sure it's not an issue with the amount of force, let's crank that up. See if that's the case. Yeah, has nothing to do with the amount of force.
Triumph in the coding, see the fire. Found my way through the darkness, now the morning gleams. Every sleepless night has shaped my day-walking dreams.
What if...
Hope once lived in my keyboard.
tie.
Motivations in free fall. I'm scared to even try.
I stumble through the syntax, the glow in me has died. Where once I found redemption, now I'm lost inside. This project used to guide me, now it's stealing all my air. I'm screaming into shadows, uncertain anyone's there. I'm thinking in these tangled
They don't stay attached, which I think is the problem.
breakthrough voice that finally feels sincere. Once bright lines are faded, collapsing under doubt. I'm crying for a moment of clarity to pull me out.
Buried under half-formed
Why?
ideas, they echo through
Some
the
weird things going on here, I think.
of confidence, unraveling every scene. I see the project mocking me, a labyrinth of pain.
I have more than one parent. No. Parent would have to be this, with all of the children being the rocks. I think I did have the parent, the rabbit as the parent and the child previously, so I don't know if that was messing things up. We'll see. No.
The hope you left behind. Trust the embers in your heart. You haven't been confined. I'm
Pretty sure that I can't
cold in quiet fear. Desperate for a breakthrough voice that
group these.
once bright lines are faded, collapsing under doubt. I'm crying for a moment.
Pretty sure if I group these, it won't let me.
Nights grow darker, each loop a twist of fate.
But even in the blackest hour, it's never too late.
I cling to fragments of a dream.
Searching
Oh,
for
let's not do that. Let's just not use the attach node at first.
Out decrease.
I'm rising from these tangled threads, confronting all my fear. A flicker of that breakthrough voice begins to sound so clear. Though the lines were once in ruin, I'm reaching through the doubt.
I need to play with this over here.
Darkness, at last, I'm crawling out.
The project breathes again.
Yeah, I can't target the group. I can only target an individual rock.
Chasing every deadline, feeling every weight. Coffee stains on paper, shadows on the wall. Every sacrifice a question, wondering if I'll fall. Pressure mounting higher, can't escape the grind. Lost in this obsession, peace I cannot find. Every step I take, another piece breaks free. Burnout's closing in, consuming me. I'm drowning in the darkness, can't find my way out. Every breath is heavier, filled with doubt. Longing
I attach them all, the attach node, and apply the force to one of them. They all go. Only the one has collision.
Sweat drips on the keyboard, fingers numb and sore. Mind's a battlefield, fighting demons at the core. Every line I write feels like a battle won, but the war inside me rages on and on. In the silence of the night, I hear my heart cry, seeking solace in the shadows, wondering
Make these not physics enabled, but just collision.
when pain, yearning for the sunlight to feel whole again. I'm drowning in the darkness, can't find my way out. Every breath is heavier, filled with doubt.
If they would just collide with the ground, that would be like perfect. If I apply the force to all of them,
Breaking through the shadows, tearing down the wall.
But then they all roll and they don't stay attached.
Seeking out the solace, chasing inner peace. I'm rising from the darkness, finding my way out. Every breath feels lighter, shedding doubt. Embracing every moment, learning to believe. Burn out from ends, I found my reprieve. I faced the shadows and found the light.
So group these. I don't know if the issue is yeah, you see how these ones are still floating and this one looks like it sat down on the ground, even though they should all be right around the same position. So that one is being treated like a physics object. For all of these is physics enabled. Yeah, all of them are on the ground now. But none of them behave. None of them are attached now. If I ungroup those, I feel like there should be some combination of something here that would work. But I don't know if I can just get those other blocks to respect collision with the ground. Oh. Well, why did it respect it like for a second? Like, it bounced. I'm so confused. Yeah, see, as soon as a force is applied, why isn't this one? So confusing.
On these loops, I can't recall the sun. Days blur into late night coding, never sure if I've won. The guilt is eating at my core, it's etched in every line. I neglected life outside, chasing deadlines in my mind.
Seconds tick tick like bombs, the pressure suffocating. I'm drowning in the loop, my own regrets pulsating. Every misstep, every moment that I let slip away, echoes in the silence, haunting me night and day.
I'm crying
I just don't understand
searching for light, hoping to rewrite the
this song. What about the song?
feel right. From endless loops of sorrow, I'm yearning to break free.
You like the song?
Newfound resolve inside me, praying it sets me free.
I run in circles, trapped by code that's twisting up my soul.
This is the one that caught you off guard.
Life behind this screen instead of reaching a goal. Apologies to every friend I kept on red, but now I'm stepping forward, done repeating what I've said. Guilt can be a burden, yet it's also a sign. It's calling you to wake
Well,
up to
you can listen to this song
let the tears lead to healing. Let
on your favorite streaming service,
the days you left
on YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal.
These wrongs feel right. From endless loops of sorrow, I'm yearning to break free. A newfound resolve,
Oh, you mute me. I see. I see.
it sets me.
That's alright.
I'm stepping off this hamster wheel, reclaiming every breath.
I want to check something here and see if this is an issue
Let these loops guide me home. Go rise above the cycle, no longer left alone.
with the ground, and if it acts the same way on a floor. It also has collision.
Through all this pain, searching for light, hoping to rewrite the past to make these wrongs feel right. From endless loops of sorrow, I'm finally breaking free. A newfound resolve inside me. This time I choose me. I've laid my guilt to rest. To stop
Jeff's voice is the best part of the stream. True. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter about the floor at all. Let me just make sure. Let me put these on collision. See if the collision collides with the collision. No. So I feel like anytime you apply a physics force to anything that's not the exact object that you're applying the force to, it just loses collision. And you can't apply a physics force to a group. You can only apply it to a physics object. Alright, I can't apply this to a group. I can apply it to a floor though. I'm just curious now. I can launch a floor, but I can't launch a block. So if I can launch a floor, I can launch a floor.
Twitch flame burning bright, game deaf till the dead of night. Follows rolling like thunder. In the game we all wander. Twitch flame burning bright, game deaf till the dead of night. Follows rolling like thunder.
launch a floor.
Every line makes the screen thrive.
Um,
Eyes flicker in the low light. Reflections of a digital right.
let's get rid of all of this.
Bugs crash and burn. Coffee chugs. Cheering crowds through the screen. Virtual applause lacks no sheen. Every follow
So why is it spazzing out like that? Let's not do. Let's not attach them first. Okay, it's because it's colliding. So can I just turn the collision off? No collision. But attach these.
started dead eyes from the grind. My passion's uncharted. My code's on fire, though my soul feels drained. I'm a walking contradiction. See the midnight flames. Keep pushing, keep building. The day job's got me locked. I can't ignore the call.
Not quite sure why it's behaving like that.
Fatigue in my veins, self-doubt in my mind. Yet I grip the dream tighter 'cause it's all on the line. Breaking through midnight, meltdown turning into light. All this burnout can't contain my will to fight. I'll shatter every demon screaming in my ear. Heavier is behind me, my purpose is clear. Flickering screens in the early AM. Deadlines loom and still I chase them. Zombie mode eyes, but I'm coding for the thrill. Hustling for the future, forging worlds with my skill. Every maybe in my head tries to cut my flow.
So I,
Spit these bars for the dream I won't let go.
maybe, just maybe,
Day job, midnight ground. Nerves strung tight like cables on the edge. Frustration feels the chaos, but I make my pledge. I'm breaking through.
shrink it down a little bit more.
Meltdown turning into light. All this burnout can't contain my will to fight. I'll shatter every demon screaming in my ear. Heavier is behind me, my purpose is clear.
Look at that.
Sunrise creeping
Look at
low,
that.
fire, it's still strong. No time for regrets. I've been chasing this too long. When the
Now if I
noise in
take
my head
this
tries to
guy,
bury me again, I'll remember this anthem and rise above the din. I'm breaking
how does collision actually work? No idea.
turning into light. All this burn
Let's get this nice and centered in here.
I'll shatter every demon screaming in my ear. Heavier is behind me, my purpose is clear. Day job at dawn, dream job by night. I keep on coding till I get it right. The morning light floods my screen. The chat starting to
Look at that.
I'm sipping soda,
Look at that.
another epic show. Goofy banter in the feed, emojis on overload. As soon as I hit go live, the hype is set to explode. Hey, confetti's raining down with every brand new song. The chat is wild and rowdy, and I'm soaking up the love. This pop punk joy keeps the vibe so bright. Streaming in the sunshine, living that Twitch life.
Needs to put his ass into it more. Well, yes, we definitely need to work out more of the animation. But we got something that's workable.
I see the cheers popping up in neon lines. The comedic flow keeps us all aligned.
I just want to see. This looks like shrunk down. I have a feeling it's gonna fly. No, surprisingly. It hardly hops at all, which is interesting. I think this is workable. I'll have to spend probably a lot of time tweaking all the different joints to move right with the hop. But it can hop. And it's hopping with a physics force, not a movement node. Spam art kind of goes crazy. But this is also not going to be player controlled, right? All this animation will be in the logic. So I'm really happy with this. However, I did just realize I can't use an event for this, which is probably fine. I can leave the event for now until I get a little bit farther, but if I have an event triggering it, then each rabbit can't be independent. They would all be triggering off the same event. If you put multiple of them in your arc, they're all just going to be in sync. But now the fun part is figuring out all the animations that I need here to make this work. I think probably what I need to do is scrunch up the back legs here so it sets more like a bunny does when it's like its idle stance. Then add some motion into its front legs as well. When it hops. Let's just delete this guy for now. But now, before I dive too much into that, because I don't think I'm going to get to that on this stream. I'm probably going to watch some videos on like 3D animation and model rigging and things like that to try to learn a little bit about what I'm doing here. But I do want to play with this floor now, because I did not know I could apply physics to a floor. And I think that's a very... I think I can think of a lot of uses where I can use a floor instead of the rock that I was using previously. Or I'm curious what other things I can use. And I'm also curious if the floor behaves the same way as like the rock. So if I have 2 floors here, and I attach them, does the one floor lose collision? And it doesn't look like it, right? Yeah, no, I still have the hop guy hooked up. Let's just do this instead for now. So this is very interesting to me. You've done a Udemy course on Control Rig and Unreal. You don't have the motivation to do the node work equivalent, but you recommend Lincoln Margison's Control Rig stuff. You're in the mid of his procedural animation of humans course. I'll have to check it out. I'll take a note here. Throw that over there. He provides a scorpion in the course is rigging the scorpion and all its legs to procedurally walk. Nice. Just want to see if I make this physics enabled. Does that make a difference? Yeah, see, with it physics enabled, other floors seem to lose collision. Sort of. But like, when the player... I'm so confused how the collision and everything works. But the neat thing with the floor is that it's flat, right? So a lot of the issues that I've had, some of the previous stuff I've done with like the grenade and the rocket, well, the grenade was fine. But like the rocket is getting it to settle down in between launches because it's a rock and it's spinning and rolling and doing all this other stuff. But a floor doesn't do that. Okay, So, I think what we're gonna do here, let's get rid of this event. Get rid of one of these triggers and one of these delay nodes. I don't think we're ever gonna want it to hop with one leg. So I can have one trigger that triggers the entire hop animation. Have you got a way to grab an object and yeet it already? Like a basketball, can you grab that and physics throw it? Yes. But I don't actually have the... I don't have the grab logic specifically. So that wouldn't be hard to do. But have you seen the grenade? The grenade that I did?
I feel the weight of all these usernames. I'm losing self-control. Heartbeat sync with since the grind. I'm fighting off the fear. They show up for the show, but do I deserve them here?
So grabbing an object and yeeting it would be the exact same thing as the grenade logic. With the exception of I don't need to move the object to the player because it's already at the player to apply the physics force to it.
Still I cling to the screen, I can't turn away. A million eyes watch me break or shine. Every second's do or die, every breath on the line. I'm caught in the crossfire, chasing validation, real-time feedback.
Now it just hops on its own.
Will I let them down, or can I rise above the doubt? I'm trapped in the spotlight, I can't live without.
So yeah,
Mic check,
I've got
the chat blows up, spilling secrets, I'm addicted to the rush. A flood of hearts on the screen, but it's never enough. Spikes in adrenaline, then I feel the crash rush.
so behind. I popped huge when I saw the events have player ID inputs, but I don't know how long that's been there. They've been there since I think the last major update. Not the bug fix one that they did last, I think, but the one before that. Whenever this next patch comes out that includes the macro node. So I have this chunk of logic here that basically does all of the math to calculate a point in front of the player regardless of which direction you're facing. So I would like to package that up as like a macro node, so you can just get a location in front of the player. And I use that for both the grenade and my rocket launcher in here, which I'm really curious now. It's not really like a raycast or a hit scan. It just calculates based on where you're standing and what direction you're facing to get a point slightly in front of your character, so that I can place something there, right? So if I go in here, I go to throw this grenade, right? It picks a point in front of the character. No matter which way you're facing, it'll pick a point in front of you. spawn the grenade there, and then apply a physics force in the direction that you're facing. Right? So no matter which way you're facing, it's going to throw the grenade in that direction. The same for the rocket. The rocket logic does the exact same thing. Finds that point in front of you, spawns it, and then applies a physics force to the rocket going forward. And then a whole bunch of fancy logic in there to determine when it hits something. But I get issues like this because of the rock that I'm using, right? Which I think I can actually fix a lot of this by not using the rock anymore. It's like this rocket will go until it hits something. I got some math in there to figure that out. Is anything published? I think the grenade logic's published.
I gave my fears a platform, let them shout inside.
That's over here. It's this guy. And yeah, throwable grenade. Published. So that's out there. The rocket's not, because I didn't want to put the rocket out there with this bug that it has. But what I'm curious right now is what things do I have pointing at this? I have an attach node pointing at this and that guy. So if I just replace this with like a we'll take like this floor. We're gonna scale it down as small as it'll go. We will. Jeez, that thing's so small I can't even see it, which is, I mean, good for our use case here. We're gonna connect that there. Connect. Where is the floor? Like, I know it's here somewhere. I can see the shadow of it right here, but I can't see the actual floor. What am I missing here? Let's do this. Let's scale it up to connect stuff, and then we'll scale it back down. So if we do this, and I get this floor placed.
Jokes are flying left and right, chats fueling every line. We stumble on a glitch, but laugh instead of whine. The music pulses louder with every hype-filled beat. We're weaving heartfelt hooks into this pop-punk treat. Hearts race faster than the
Can't really select that rock right now. Just swapping those things out. Let me see what that does. Look how fast that settles down now. That's so much nicer. I don't know what happened there. Seems to be spazzing out trying to blow up this vehicle. There we go. I don't know what that was about. That is so much nicer.
Chasing every bug, lines of code entangled, feeling like a tug. Debugging through the chaos, fighting through the strain. But there's a spark inside me. A vision in the darkness starting to show. I keep pushing. Believing in the moment when the breakthrough lies. It compiles everything aligns a breakthrough.
Yeah, this is really nice. That works so much better. I mean, for the grenade, the rock works fine because it's supposed to kind of land and roll anyways. And if somebody out there wants to create a grenade, just a model of a grenade, I can replace that with that model.
In the silence of creation, through every hurdle faced, I went the length. Now the code is flawless, the vision clear.
Yeah. This is so much better than the rock. What did I change? I used a floor instead of a rock for the physics object that it's applying the physics to.
We broke through the barriers, tore down the walls, rising from the shadows, celebrating every victory.
So now, I launch the rocket. When it explodes, it comes back here and it settles down almost instantly because it's a floor, not a round object that's just going to spin forever. So then the next one, it's settled down. It's not applying any of that additional physics to it.
And it seems we've built our dreams, now they come alive. With every continue to thrive.
I don't know why it doesn't seem to collide with the glass. Maybe the glass just doesn't have collision on it. I mean, I can't go through the glass. So that might just be it. That might just solve my problem for this rocket.
Built our dreams. Perfected. We continue to thrive.
Which means I can probably work on making this rocket multiplayer friendly as well. that might open up a handful of new possibilities for using the physics node as well. Because being able to apply physics to things the way that you want is important. And rocks work well for throwing things like this. Chipping away at your first-person camera for a Rocket Arena game. Nice. Yeah, I probably... So I need to make this multiplayer friendly. Once I do that, I can publish the rocket, I think. I think this was the one bug I needed a solution for before I could do that. So probably sometime in the next week, I'll be able to publish this rocket if you want to use it. I guess I don't want to say sometime this week. It depends on how much time it's taken up on the Stamp Jam. But I think we have a good start. Because the player animations always walk in front of the camera. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if... I'm pretty sure somebody's already tried this. So I'm pretty sure this doesn't work. I don't think I've ever tried this. So we're going to try it right now. Where is my Stamp Jam? The biggest problem with doing like custom character models right now is simply the fact that cameras don't move, right? What is this? Add camera, modifier, and set camera. Okay. You can morph the player into it, and the camera will behave like the player camera. So you're saying that if I do this, that didn't work. Turn you into the invisible floor. But I'm a floor. I didn't actually... I guess I morphed them into that object. But they didn't become that object, so any logic I'm applying to this isn't happening to the player. Whereas what I think I would prefer to be able to do Don't do that. Let's just set a custom camera up behind an object. Like so. Something like that. Then on camera activate it, attach it. Then on yeah, we'll just do on start. Turn that on. I would like to be able to do that and just attach a camera to a thing. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, the camera doesn't follow it. The camera doesn't move. Because if you could do something like this, games like Prop Hunt would be possible. The reason they're not possible now is you could morph a player into a model. They still have a health bar. You're in an ad. Is the ad finished? But yeah, so I mean, it all depends on the type of game mode that you're trying to make. But if I could use a custom camera and attach it to an object and then let the player control that object, then games like Prop Hunt become feasible. Because right now, if you morph a player into a different mesh, they still have a health bar, and you can't hide that health bar. And it completely destroys the whole concept of Prop Hunt because you just go find the health bars. But if you could just attach their camera to an object while their character model is somewhere completely different, then you could do Prop Hunt.
Stepping up from the shadows, now I'm in the light, guiding through the chaos, leading through the night, cold reviews and late night talks.
But yeah, this doesn't work. I can't attach the camera to an object and have it follow it. The camera, like, once it's in the game, it can't move.
Feeling all the tide, but there's a spark inside that won't let me retreat. I've got to find my footing, make this journey complete.
Taking the lead, standing by your side. Together we'll conquer, let our strengths collide. Though doubts may linger, our hearts remain strong. In this unified team where we all belong.
Balancing the tasks, the lines of trust I build. Every decision weighs, every hope fulfilled. Seeing potential in their eyes, lifting up the dreams. But sometimes I wonder what it all really means.
Yeah, I mean, they even have this follow target thing on the camera that doesn't work.
In the silence of the night, doubts try to creep in, but together we rise. Let the
Attach the player with an offset.
step we take,
Hide the player under
in the fire of leadership.
under the map with an identical layout, but you'd still be able to see the health bar underneath. Follow target works. Doesn't seem to be working.
above the fears, tearing down the walls, embracing every challenge, answering the calls. We lead with courage, united we stand, building something greater, hand in hand. Taking the lead, standing by your side.
It's not following.
We'll conquer, let our strengths collide. Though doubts may linger, our hearts remain strong. In this unified team,
Oh, it just aims at it. So like, if I put this camera, why did I put the camera as part of the, I guess it needs to be part of the group, right? If I put this camera over here, you're saying it'll follow it. It didn't follow it.
Lights, camera, action, go, whoa. Streaming live, the crowd's aglow. Pixels race, the screen delights. Game dev hustle through the night. Viewers gather, hearts in hand. Follows flying across the land. Suns pop up, the sound is sweet. Every click, we're on repeat. Twitch party, electric vibe. Where gaming magic truly thrives. Join the fun, it's never bland. Together here, a digital band.
Let's try. Moving the camera from the group.
Every sub a cheer that rings. Virtual high fives flow like springs. Pixels spread like wildfire on. Games and laughs till break of dawn. Mystic realms we walk and spin. In this space we all can win. Twitch party, electric vibe. Where gaming magic truly thrives. Join the fun, it's never bland. Together here, a digital band.
What do you have here? It's on follow. Referencing this actor.
Twitch party, electric vibes, where gaming magic truly thrives. Join the fun, it's never bland. Together here,
When I go in there, you added me to the list. Triggering this to set the follow target. So maybe it doesn't follow if it affects all players. I don't know.
Lines of code reflect the state inside my head. Each function calls for balance where my thoughts have fled.
It's definitely not following for me there. Let's go. Let's get rid of that.
Down the barriers, cleaning up the mess. Factoring every part, striving for success. Patterns emerging from the chaos, finding my own way. Turning over a new leaf with
It's not following there either.
refactor my mind, redefine your
So maybe the cameras are just broken now. Maybe they did something that broke the follow. Or maybe there's some camera modifiers that need to be in here. I don't know.
Optimizing pathways, streamlining my flow, clearing out the clutter, letting new ideas grow, facing every challenge with a mindset that's strong, integrating changes where I truly belong. In the
I didn't know they had this camera preview mode. It's pretty neat.
settings, let the healing begin. Strategies and coping tools to guide me through, embracing all the changes, starting something new. Refactor my mind, redefine who I am. Rebuild my habits, let the old ways disband. Coping with the struggles, finding strength inside. Renewed and revitalized, let my spirit rise.
Use the node, it's better. Well, I'm not actually going to do anything with it right now because I don't need to. I'm just curious.
Embracing every moment, answering the calls. We refactor our lives, embrace the change. Moving forward together.
Scared of all this.
Refactor my mind, redefine who I am. Rebuild my habits, let the old ways disband. Coping with the struggles, finding strength inside. Renewed and revitalized, let my spirit rise. Refactor thoughts. Renewed
I think
Pizza boxes scattered round, scribbles in the margins. I just swirling faster than the coffee
I
is
would
dissolving.
like to
3
do.
a.m. again, eyes are wired to my screen. Gotta get these thoughts out, feed the frantic pop punk dream. Hey, we're writing legends with greasy pen strokes, tearing through power chords, fueled by silly jokes. This late night mania is all that we need.
Something.
Destiny, pop punk guaranteed. Soft stain brainstorming, we're dancing in our chairs, laughing at how random these scribbles turn to
Like
dares.
this is the default leg position for the rabbit.
Madness till day. Night air humming loud, adrenaline's on blast, creativity's exploding. We're living way too fast. We're making something epic from these scraps of dough and ink. When the sunrise hits, we'll watch this legend sing. Hey, we're writing legends with greasy pen strokes, tearing through power chords, fueled by
Then I would just need
this late night mania is all that we need.
this
Destiny, pop punk.
kind of pivot like so.
We're shouting out the lines,
I might want to push that more forward. I don't know.
Every chord gets a cheer. We're unstoppable tonight. Who needs sleep here? Hey, we're writing legends with greasy pen strokes, tearing through power chords, fueled by
Still think I want to scrunch it up more. I need to bring the whole butt down some.
our digital destiny. Pop punk guarantee. We'll laugh at all the chaos and the anthems we've devised. When
So I
this
think
caffeine
like
crash comes, we'll dream the next surprise.
it'd be more like
I'm staring at the screen again, caffeine buzzing in my veins, lines of code are flickering,
this.
losing track of my brain. Forgot a semicolon, now the program goes insane.
Let me do that here.
Loaded on adrenaline, so bring on all the pain. Hey, hey, I'm
And then I really need to name these groups.
wearing me down, but I crank the volume higher, let the pop punk sound drown all the warnings and the dip
Bring all this down. So this is ground level.
on the edge of mania, but I'm not backing out. Reboot after reboot, yeah, it's wearing me down, but I crank the volume higher, let the pop punk sound drown all the warnings and the debug logs. It's rolling
Something like that.
on the edge of mania, but I'm not
Probably need a. This probably needs to be more arced, actually. This would need to be more like.
armed with energy drinks. I'll dance with the light. Cold lines break, but I'm feeling so alive.
I've typed 1,000 lines, I've hit 100 walls. Every crash just fuels the fight. I'll answer every
Something like that.
no sleep inside.
I'm living off neon cans. When the cold compiles, I'll feel like Superman. Hey, hey, I'm gonna rewrite this all night. Shout at the arrows till they're running in fright. Armed with energy.
Then I would just have to add some animation to like straighten these joints out too on the jump.
Spinning around in my makeshift chair, laughing at the ghosts of the bugs that were there. Now that it's fixed, I'm free of despair. Gonna celebrate like I just don't care. Hey, I'm gonna
All right,
rewrite this
but anyways, I'm actually overtime today, which is fine. It ended stream on Thursday a little early, so making up a little bit of that today. But I think we got a good start here. We got a somewhat working skeleton of a rabbit that animates at the joints, at least a couple of the joints, and it's using physics to move. So, I think we're going to keep going down this rabbit hole. Pun intended. So when we come back on Tuesday, we'll work on cleaning up some of the animation. Add animation to the legs, maybe add some animation to the spine. Then we'll start looking at if we can attach body parts, which is the reason I pulled in Nutri's models here, because I might try to steal some limbs and toes and things like that, just to see how this works. But yeah, I think that's a good start. And we're going to go from here. We're going to try to make this thing, I guess, the best that we can. I'm by no means a 3D modeler or a 3D animator, so Pig Rabbit going to be lit. That's a polar bear, not a pig. Do a pig. Hey, I'm just grabbing what stamps are out there, okay? I think my goal will probably be that after the stamp jam, if this works out well, after the stamp jam, I'll just publish the skeleton as a stamp and let other people build their own models on top of it. Because if it works the way I think it does, if the skeleton is functional, you should be able to just attach the different body parts to all the different pieces of the skeleton. And it just works. I don't know. We'll find that out later. We got, what, 2 weeks, I think, for the Stamp Jam. So plenty of time to figure all this out. But yeah, as usual, thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll be back Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're just going to keep working on this rabbit. Thanks, guys, for coming out. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye. Very conveniently, I think the music stopped a little bit ago because it hit the end of my playlist, which is only slightly longer than 2 hours. But yeah, anyways, see you guys on Tuesday.